What's up guys, Fred here, and today I'm going to show you something really special. And so for the last few days I have been doing some interesting artworks on my Instagram and I've been using the same technique, and I'm going to show you this technique today. And the technique is, for example, as you can see, for example, this artwork is actually animated. As you can see, the hair is animated, but unfortunately I'm not going to show you the animation because it takes like a lot of time to do this. But I'm going to show you how you can actually create this type of hair basically, and just drag and just drag any surface and make it longer as well so it looks realistic. Or for example, if you look here, the same, you can say this one looks like Venom, I would say. I did it like my personal Venom, I named it. And as you can see here, we have the same effect. It's also, we're just dragging and it looks really smooth and nice. Or here, for example, is the same effect, as you can see, again this dragging effect. Or here, for example, you can see her eyebrows. I also use the same dragging effect to create her eyebrows, and I'm going to show you this exact effect, how you can actually do that. And let me see what, for example, here is used the same, for example, as you can see, for dragging down this stuff. And let me see, for example, here you can see on her lips again the same effect. So I'm going to show you this, and you can use it many times later. Okay, and so first of all, let's get started by putting the image. Let me just, yeah, this one, and let me make it bigger first. So okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make her hair actually, we're going to add more hair to her. So just as I showed you on the image before, here you can see like two more on the left and two more on the right. And how are we going to do so? First of all, let's go to layers and delete this background layer because we don't need it and it's just useless. And what we want to do right now is to create a new layer because we're going to work on an empty layer. So the tool that we're going to use is this tool. If you press right and choose Smudge tool, let's choose it. And so first of all, what we want to do, go to strength and make it around 70. I would say 74 is fine. Make sure you have here sample layer selected. That's very important. Another thing you want to do is, first of all, let me make my brush smaller. This is too big. Okay, and if you most likely going to have here round brush, but we need to change this. So we need to go here to brush settings, and if you don't have brush settings here, you can always go to window and find brush settings here. And when you find brush settings, make sure you choose this brush here because that's what we need. So when you have this brush chosen, and make sure you're on a new layer, make sure your sample layer selected. Everything is fine basically. For example, you can just press and drag, and when you press and drag, see what happens. We have here this kind of cool hair appear like this. So we can just take and drag actually anything we want to take and drag, like you can see here. But the problem here right now is that we're dragging not only the hair, not only the screen, but we're also dragging the surface that's behind her. For example, the wall. If I get closer, you see the wall is also getting like blurry. So for example, if I turn off the image, as you see, we got also parts of the wall. We don't want that. We want to drag only the hair. Okay, that's very important because when you drag only the hair, it looks much better. For example, here, as you can see, I was dragging only the hair, and that's why the background, the wall is not blurry. Otherwise, it would have been blurry if I dragged the wall as well. It would have looked like this, and this is actually not that good. And so how we can do that actually? So first of all, let me delete this layer. And the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure we have only her hair basically on our layer. And first of all, let's create a copy of this. So press right here on the empty place, so not on the text, not on the image, but here on the empty place, choose duplicate layer and just press OK. So we have a copy. And when we have a copy, let's go to select color range and just press on her hair. And when you press on her hair, you can see that here we have this white mask appear. That basically means that the white parts are going to be selected, and we can play with fuzziness. For example, we can make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we have her hair selected like this is fine. And let's press OK now. So now we have this selection here, and make sure you have selected the layer above and just press create mask. So right now nothing changed, but if we turn off the layer below, see what happens. Right now we have only black color selected basically, and we have only her hair selected, so we don't have the wall, we don't have the face, and that's actually what we need. But of course we need to make some changes to this. For example, and we need to add some places. For example, we need to add a little bit here, we need to remove the eyes, and the things that are around, everything black basically. So let's go and choose our normal brush tool. Let's make it bigger, and make sure you have black color selected so you can change them here. Make sure this is black. Okay, make sure opacity is 100, flow is 100. This is normal, and if everything is fine, you can just make sure you drag on the mask. Okay, so because with black color on the mask, we're going to delete the stuff that we don't need. So yeah, in order to do that, of course, you have to understand how masks work. If you don't know that, then go and check my other tutorials where I'm showing you how. Go and check my playlist where I show you Photoshop from zero. I teach you a lot of stuff, and as well as how masks work, because this is very important. Mask is like one of the most important things in Photoshop. So when we have done that, for example, as you can see now, it's clear here, and that's actually what we can also delete everything that's inside on her face basically. But we also need to add some hair here. So in order to do that, just press here. So we have white color selected now, and we can just draw like this. So just to add some hair, go here and make the hardness 0. Yeah, that's fine, like this. So let's just turn this on and see. Okay, we have here hair as well, so we can add this too. I just wanted to make sure we don't miss anything. So like this is already fine. Now let's create a new layer, and when we do that, let's go again to our smudge tool, and what we can actually do, let's make this small a little bit. For example, now if I do the same, I do like this, you can see. The good thing is that when we do that, for example, if I turn on the layer below, you see, now we did it only to the hair. So basically, the wall is not affected. So for example, if I turn this off, you can see that the wall is not affected, only her hair is getting smudged basically, I would say. But also there is something interesting happening when we do that too much. For example, as you can see, we see here some really interesting colors pop up, and that's actually cool, I would say. Let's go back. Oops, let's just go back when we don't have this. Okay, so what we can actually do, we just have to play with this brush basically. We can press right on our mouse and change the direction of the brush. You can also do it here, change the direction, and now for example it's looking in the other direction, the brush itself. For example, right now I can do that again, to make the hair go like this, but this one doesn't look good actually, I would say. Let's make the strength a little bit lower, around 50. Let's change the direction. So right now we just have to experiment, see which one works well, which one doesn't work well. For example, like this. As you can see, again we have the same thing appears, that we have here different colors. Let's go back. Okay, so yeah, you can play with that. And another thing you can actually do in order to make the process itself better, you can actually choose curvature pen tool, and what you can do, for example, let's say I want this to go like this, right? Here I can press here, 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 right? This is going to be our path for our brush to go. So when you have done that, go to make sure you're on empty layer, go to path, choose if you don't have path panel here, make sure you go to window and choose path. That's how you find it, or that's how it looks. So maybe you have it here as well, and you just press right on the path and choose stroke path. So now we can choose the tools that we want to stroke this path with, and I want to choose smudge tool. And if I press OK, see what happens? It's starting automatically going there. Again, right, again stroke path, again once more. You see now it's more, again the same. So we can just do this a few times. Enter, right, stroke path, enter, right, stroke path, enter. And when you do this a few times, see what happens? It starts it starts automatically creating this smudge for you basically. So let's go to path and press here on the empty place, so we don't have this selected, because when we have this blue line, we don't want it, so let's just press on the empty place. And here right now, for example, of course we can delete few things. For example, we can go to our layer, we can choose eraser tool, this one, and we can just start deleting the stuff that we don't need, and that already looks nice. So if we turn on the image on the back, you can see that her hair is going up like this. So we can do that a few more times. Again, we can choose the path tool, And again, like we can just do it like this. Let's make it a little bit smaller this time, like this. For example, again, we can go to pass, press right, stroke pass, yes. Again, press right, stroke pass, yes. Press right, stroke pass, again. uh, See how cool that looks already. So if you go back to us and turn on our image, as you can see now, we have here this here as well. So like this we can do like a lot of interesting stuff. Again, just like I showed you, you can just choose the smudge tool and you can just turn off the layer below and start, you know, doing that, this kind of interesting lines. And you can use this tool to create many other cool stuff. Like I showed you, for example, this venom. It's actually perfect to create a venom effect, I would say, because you can just keep and drag, for example. Another thing it's cool for, like I showed you here, this is also pretty cool. These colors are created automatically when you drag too much. For example, if I, let me turn this off, all off, and wait, yeah. For example, let's say I just have here a rectangle. Okay, let me turn this off. Let me make it white. So we have just here white rectangle, and I create a new layer again. So I take my smudge tool and let's make it bigger a little bit. And if I start dragging, see what's going to happen. Cool, right? We have here this kind of really interesting colors pop. So yeah, that's how it works. And I hope you really like this tutorial. So just go to my Instagram and follow me, because every time I release a new tutorial, I put it there. And of course, follow me on YouTube. And if you want to, you know, really go deep into Photoshop and learn all the advanced stuff, then I have a course that you can get with a discount in the link in the description, or you can just go to my free course and learn the essentials. So see you guys till the next lesson. Bye.